Hey guys, it's Shade here, back to bring you another video in Borderlands 3. If you liked the video, please drop a like, and if you want to see more future content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified for my future videos. You can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/shadegaming if you want to hang out while I play various games. You can also follow the link in the description to join the Discord to play with like-minded people or do some trading. I will also be including the save file for this build in the Discord channel, so make sure you check it out. So with that out the way, let's get into the video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Maliwan Takedown gear for Amara and a build around that with all the gear that I've gotten so far. The newest class mod for Amara, called the Driver, is actually the best class mod so far for Amara. And there's a number of different reasons why, and I will be creating a new video on that over the weekend, so you'll be able to see that real soon. But in long story short, the damage from that class mod is actually going to go over all of your damage, not just your gun damage, as it says on the class mod. Not only that, but a few of the anointments will also be doing the same thing. So the 50% bonus elemental damage to weapons for a 10-second period, that actually also goes to all of your damage sources, not just weapons, which makes those anointments way better. On top of all of this, the class mod will boost the legendary shield called the Shooting Star, which will allow you to do some serious damage to bosses. And that is primarily what I'm going to be showcasing in this build. As you can see from this footage, I was able to take down Wotan the Invincible by myself using the Shooting Star and a Face Puncher, and it is very, very effective. This was a 4-man group where basically Wotan had that difficulty scaling where it was 4 people, so as many of you may know, the more people in your game, the more difficult the enemies become. So I was able to take him down by myself just with the Shooting Star and this class mod. To start things off, we're going to be going down the Fist of the Elements tree. We're going to be taking 5 out of 5 in Anima so that we can get extra action skill duration, status effect duration and damage. We're going to be taking 5 out of 5 in Tempest in order to get the extra elemental damage. We're going to be taking 1 out of 1 in Illuminated Fist for the extra melee damage. 3 out of 3 in Steady Hands. The reason I'm going Steady Hands is because when I go all the way down Fist of Elements, I prefer to have no infusion points. That way I'm not taking anything away from my guns, since primarily I like to do cryo just so that I can get some extra melee damage off of that. But realistically, you could choose infusion if you want to really deal more damage with whatever action skill element you take, especially if you're going to be using guns that are non-elemental. We're going to take 1 out of 5 in Wildfire. We're going to take 1 out of 1 in Dread. Wildfire is just to get us to the next tier. You could also take 1 in Catharsis, but I just prefer using Wildfire as that spread chance is pretty cool, especially if we're doing high dot damage stuff. And the Dread I am doing for the extra gun damage on grasp targets. We're going to be taking 1 out of 1 in Deep Well for the increased magazine size. 3 out of 3 in Indiscriminate for the ricochet chance and extra damage. We're going to be taking 5 out of 5 in Sustainment because, I mean, it's her best life skill. We're going to be taking 1 out of 1 in Forceful Expression for that extra bonus elemental damage. That 18% elemental damage is just so good. We're going to be taking the next tree down through Brawl. We're going to be taking 3 out of 3 in Personal Space. We're going to be taking 5 out of 5 in Clarity, just for that extra health regen. We're going to be taking 3 out of 3 in Samsara, for that health regen and gun damage. 5 out of 5 in Helping Hands, for that damage reduction. 1 out of 1 in Find Your Center. 3 out of 3 in Mindfulness, for that extra movement speed. 1 out of 1 in Guardian Angel, just to keep us up more often. And then finally, we're going to put 1 out of 1 in Fast Hands. You can choose to put this anywhere else, but I personally prefer having extra reload speed and weapon swap speed. It's just very helpful for builds overall. Now I'm going to go over the guns I take and why I take them. To start off, I am taking the Mocking Kib's Worth. The Kib's Worth is a new gun that basically shoots kind of like a Cutsman, but faster, where it shoots 2 bullets that weave. And when you kill something with this will spawn like a little healing area that will heal you very, very rapidly. This will just add to our survivability, and it's a really good gun in general anyway, so it's definitely one you want to pick up. The next one we're going to get is the Carrier. So the Carrier will deal 1 bullet and then split into 2, and then those bullets will home. All of these guns are going to kind of be guns that can be used on the run, allowing you to get really good damage off of them and just continue your running streak. The next one we're going to use is a Face Puncher. This is crucial for the build, especially for killing bosses very quickly. With this build, I've been able to solo Wotan with 4 people in the party. So basically a 4-person difficulty Wotan, I've been able to solo him very easily without really having a problem. Unescapable Westergun, this is just for applying dots to myself. While the driver will be giving us some dots, this gives you a second one, which constantly keeps you at 25 stacks of mindfulness. And it will allow you to continue like moving very quickly and stuff like that. It'll allow you to dodge a lot of fire too. Just having this much mobility has its own pluses. The only problem I'm having right now with the Westergun is that it's still doing too much damage to me dot-wise when I'm at full speed. It will melt through my health pretty quickly. With regen and stuff, it's not a problem, but it can kill you. So be careful about that. I would try to get a level 1 Westergun by using the lost loot machine to give you a level 1 by joining a friend as a level 1 character, opening your lost loot machine, and picking up the gun that you never picked up. It should be level 1 at that point. Next, we're going to be using 2 different types of shields. We're going to be using the Shooting Star. The Shooting Star will allow you to really just tear people apart with this build, as you can shoot the Face Puncher, run around, and when those stars hit, it'll deal truck tons of damage. The class mod we're going to be using is the driver class mod. We're going to be using a meditative spiritual driver. This just means that it's giving us +3 mindfulness and +2 in clarity. And this is actually a pretty decent one. This gives us extra shotgun damage, which Face Puncher skills off of. Even though it's not going to increase the damage versus bosses, it's still pretty nice. But the best part about this is the 31% action skill cooldown rate. You definitely want to get one with that. It's going to help you out a ton. Recurring Hex. That is the grenade we're going to be using. We're going to just be using this to apply terror to ourselves, and we're going to use the Hex every once in a while just for like freezing and stuff. It's not important to have a recurring Hex as long as you have a grenade that gives you terror or ammo regen. I'm not sure if you can get the ammo regen off of it, but at least terror and then the shield giving you ammo regen. The last thing we're going to be using is the Cryostone Static Charge. This is just for general mobbing. There are a ton of good relics you could be using, especially if you're not going to be doing primarily melee damage. But this one's just really fun, and I love this artifact. It really helps out a lot. Once again, you want to make sure you have action skill cooldown rate on your artifact so that you can constantly be using your Fist Over Matter and getting your Samsara stacks as well as your Dot and your Terror. Finally, I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using a level 1 Brawler Ward with the gain ammo regeneration as well. This will be used for general mobbing in most areas. You're only going to kind of use the Shooting Star against the bosses, but you could also use the Shooting Star throughout the whole thing, and you're not going to see that much of a downtick in damage. As for the abilities you want to take, we're going to be taking Fist Over Matter to provide us with guaranteed Samsara, basically. We're going to be taking Allure to suck in those enemies and give us more chance of getting more Samsara stacks quickly. And that's going to be it. We're going to keep our shock damage still, and that's it for the abilities you're taking. Okay guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you have any comments or suggestions for what I can do to improve or what you want to see next, leave it in the comments below. I do read and reply to every comment and really appreciate your support. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.